This is an update on this 2012 Volkswagen Golf TDI, Mark 6, 2 liters. It still has its winter tires on, that's just because, well, it's the end of winter here. Anyways, now it has 380,000 kilometers on it. That's a lot. I knew that I was going to put a lot of kilometers on it, and so that's why I bought it. Now, sorry about the wind noise. I've got it on a tripod here so that it's a little more stable for you. So I do all the regular maintenance on this thing. That means I've changed the fluids and filters since it was new on the according to the schedule. But I do that all myself, including the fuel filter. Don't be scared of changing the fuel filter. It's not a big deal. You don't have to purge it or do anything weird. Not a big deal. Also the DSG, I do that myself as well. That's a bit more of a process, but it's still not bad. You don't need any special gear to do it. I also change the tires and balance them and all that kind of stuff. Do that all myself. So, major repairs. The major repairs that I've done on this thing include the timing belt. I've done that twice, and when you do the timing belt you also do the water pump, and so I did not do those myself. I had the dealer do those just because the parts were almost the same price as having the service done at the dealership. So the suspension, I have changed out both front struts. There's sort of a McPherson strut type thing. I did that myself. I had to replace one of the rear coil springs as well. Apparently the suspension is a weak point on these cars. Dual mass flywheel, I had to change that. Again, I had a service station do that, and it was quite an expensive repair. The wheel bearings, I've done all those myself, including the rotors and the pads. The pads didn't need to be replaced. I don't know, I was in the process, so I did it anyways. Recently, I've had the EGR deleted, and the DPF was supposed to be deleted, but turns out that the service station where I had that done didn't actually, delete it. They didn't actually take the DPF off. They did remove the catalytic converters and charged me, but anyways, so wasn't happy about that. The good bits. Well, the fuel economy is amazing. It gets 5.1 liters per 100 on the last few tanks at least, and that's since the EGR and DPF delete. Well, the EGR and catalytic converter delete. It is a solid, comfortable car. It has all the bells and whistles, all the options that you could possibly get, and so comfortable in that respect. It has no rust, and everything works, so that's a good thing. The back seat, you can lay out flat in that back seat. I'll show you. Now, I'm not sure if the shadows are so bad you can't see or what, but I'm 5'6" tall. And when I lay those back seats down, I can lay out flat. And so when I'm on my long road trips, I just lay a sleeping bag and a couple of sleeping pads down, and I just sleep in the back of the car. I can lay flat, it's quite comfortable, saves me a hotel room, and I'm only going to sleep for like 4 or 5 hours anyways. I'll give you a little more detail on the fuel mileage. Okay, so this is just the cost of fuel per month. If you're, frugal or, into saving money, you'd be interested in doing calculations like this. This is just a spreadsheet. I did it in Google Sheets. You could do it in Excel or anything else. You should make up your own, or you can use this as a model if you'd like. Anyways, again, this is in Canada, and so we're in the metric system, and we record our mileage, our fuel economy, in liters per 100 kilometers. And so that's what these values are right here. And I wanted to know, how how big an impact does the liters per 100 kilometers have on my monthly budget, because I'm shortly going to be retired, so I'm on a fixed income as a result, so it does matter. Now, I put in these blue numbers here, and I have set my thing so I can change those values. But anyways, I decided that I could, in retirement, probably drive 25,000 kilometers per year, and I used an average cost of $1.20, and this is Canadian funds, $1.20 per litre. So I looked up I used Fuely.com. It's a website that gives you real-world fuel economy, and I have found it actually quite accurate. I own a Chev Silverado 2500 4-wheel drive. It has averaged about 19 liters per 100 kilometers. In US miles per gallon, that's 12 miles per gallon. That's shitty. Anyways, I rarely ever drive that truck, so yeah. However, I do have 280,000 kilometers on it, which, yeah. My Volkswagen Golf, so on the realworldfuely.com website, it says that Volkswagen TDIs should average around 6.2, and when my car was new, that was what it was doing, around 6.2 liters per 100 kilometers. Although they're advertised as 4.6 to 5.6, that isn't what they really get. So in my experience, Fuely was correct. It really does get 6.2 liters per 100 when it was new. Now, since I've done my EGR delete and that kind of stuff, most recently I'm averaging 5.1 liters per 100 kilometers, which is very good. What does that do to your budget? Well, if I was driving 25,000 kilometers per year and paying $1.20 a liter for fuel, then my Volkswagen would be between $1,500 and $1,800 per year, or $125 to $150 per month to drive. The Chev Silverado, in comparison, $475 a month. That's a substantial difference in your monthly fuel bill, assuming you're driving the same kilometers. So I looked at Toyota Tacomas and a Ford Transit Connect. I thought I'd get a little minivan, or also a Toyota Corolla. They get 8 liters per 100, and so they're right in there at $200 a month, compared to the TDI at $125 to $150. So yeah, there's another $50 a month to a Toyota Corolla. I mean, come on. A Honda Civic at 7.5, so it'd be right in around here, so $180, $185 a month. In terms of how much did I save money on that car, buying that car? Yeah, I did. I drove the car for 380,000 kilometers. That's what it has on it right now. I bought it brand new. And so if I was driving my Silverado, that would have cost me $86,640 to drive that many kilometers. $86,000, almost $87,000. It's crazy. The Volkswagen TDI cost me less than $30,000. So there's a difference of $56,000 right there just in fuel. So yes, it did actually pay to buy that car brand new. The US miles per gallon, which are related to the liters per 100, these are the liters per 100. Those are the US miles per gallon. Just so you get an idea. The reason why I have an F650 GS down there is I do own a BMW motorcycle, and it gets 4 liters per 100. That's pretty good. Okay, the bad. Some of the parts are ridiculously expensive. Like those little lights on the mirrors. Those are indicator lights. Turns out they're LEDs. Instead of using just an ordinary cheap peanut bulb, they put LEDs in there. You have to replace the entire shiny bit on the bottom there, the clear plastic bit. And on the driver's side, it's $135 Canadian. The passenger side is only $85 Canadian. They're both burned out. And these fog lights or driving lights, those are crazy expensive as well. They're about $130 each, and there's 2 of them. I have replaced them before, and I need to replace this one again. Goodness. I bought ones off of Alibaba from China. turns out they don't actually fit. You have to modify them in order to make them fit. But also the extension cord thing, that's the block heater. And when it was brand new, I backed away from the place where you plug it in, and it ripped the cord out. I lost the cord, and it broke the plastic valence. And so it turns out the cord, 6 feet long, is proprietary to Volkswagen, and they want $180 for a 6-foot extension cord. Absolute insanity. So I cut the end off of the thing and put an ordinary extension cord. So that's it. Was it a good purchase? I think so. I may end up buying another one. A used one, because you can't buy diesels anymore. And if I do, I will do the EGR deletes, and I'll do the actual DPF deletes right off the bat. Also, if you're going to buy one of these and you're going to do the huge number of kilometers, or miles I guess, I would recommend that you put it up on a hoist, remove all of the shielding underneath, including the wheel wells, and undercoat the crap out of it. I have undercoated this a couple of times and did a really, really, really thorough job. It is worth doing. Also, I invested in one of those really good waxers, good Makita buffer, and I wax the thing every year before winter. So, yeah, take care of them, and they'll take care of you. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.